That was a crazy game. That was as fun of a loss as you will ever experience in a losing situation. I mean, we all know at this point, I mean, wins and losses do now matter. So you at least want to be entertained, watch the Raptors compete, and play in enjoyable games. And right now we're getting that. The Toronto Raptors, they are 2-8, but these games have been wild. And I just want to put into perspective how the Raptors, they have been competitive. And even though they are the first team to record 8 losses, this team is still in a position, it seems, every single game since the Cleveland game to win a game. And this one against the Clippers, another example of that. Going down to the wire, Jakob Poeltl almost pulling off the impossible. Shout out to Yak for giving that a try. He almost did that. That's like something you see from a guard. Poeltl missed it on purpose, got his own rebound, got as good of a look as you could have hoped in that situation, doesn't get it to go. RJ, he had a chance before that, couldn't get it to go as well. As the Clippers, they win it 105-103. But going back to what I was saying about the Raptors playing in close games, guys. So this from Josh Lewinberg, 6 of the Raptors' last 7 games have been decided by 6 points or less. And 4 of them, 1 possession games. They're 1-6 in those games. And so if they flip that upside down, the Raptors are in a much different situation right now. So this is a team that they're right there. Honestly, this Raptors team, they're on the verge of something special. And, you look at this game in particular, welcome back Emmanuel Quickley. He really came alive, in that fourth quarter especially. He had 21 points. He was 8 of 18 from the field. It's great to see Quickley back. He adds another dynamic offensive element to this Raptors team. And the Raptors, they had their issues in the fourth quarter, in late game situations, having a guy in Quickley, this team's floor general, keeping things organized. He's also lethal enough where he can hit a big-time shot, hit a big-time three, as he showed us in this one. Great to have him back, and it was good to see him, get back into the rhythm of things. Remember, this was Quickley's first game since opening night, so he's been out a while. And then you look at Abaji, got to give him a ton of credit. Abaji, he was the Raptors' leading scorer through, the most of this game. And, he really has done a great job shooting the basketball, 9 of 14 from the field. The 3-point shot has been especially impressive, 3 of 6, 7 rebounds, 2 steals. Like, he was really the offensive focal point of this Raptors team throughout. And he gave this team some much needed offense when they needed it, when they were hanging around, going into the fourth quarter. They were down, but able to, turn the game upside down, outscoring the Clippers 33-24 with a chance there at the end to win it. So Abaji was really big. Grady Dick, he bounced back nicely from his worst game of the season against the Kings. He had 15 points. He was limping there at the end, looked to be a little bit shaken up, but he did stay in the game, which was good to see. Grady was a plus 13 in this game. And then I want to give a lot of credit to Chris Boucher. He came up big late in this game, 14 from off the bench. And then Bruno Fernando, he actually gave the Raptors some big minutes late too. Like, he had a big dunk, and he must have seen all the trash talking that was online about him. He took it personally. This did not look like the Bruno Fernando that we had seen, like the point blank worst Raptors player. Like, Bruno actually gave this team some good minutes, 3 assists, 2 rebounds. He did have 5 fouls, but 4 points. The Raptors, I mean, they really made this game interesting late. Fourth quarter, they were in a fight with the Clippers, and the Clippers, they missed a couple of free throws, which opened the door for the Raptors. And then RJ Barrett, we've seen him in this situation now a couple of times, unable to get the bucket. And I said this on X, and it does lead to a bigger discussion, and it doesn't matter now, but eventually it will. For as many good young pieces of the Raptors have, I still don't see a closer on this team. RJ Barrett, I'm not trying to, pin this on the recent examples of him. Obviously, he had a couple of chances against the Nuggets, another opportunity here tonight, but I never viewed RJ as being that closer type of player. He never really showed that in New York either. I just don't think that's him. So you hope it's, Scotty Barnes can become that, but if not, they're going to have to figure out who their closer is. Is that going to be a guy, hopefully they get in a stacked 2025 NBA draft? Again, can Scotty Barnes become that guy? But, you look at RJ, he did have, 15 points in this game. And this is a guy who, or he had 13 points, pardon me. He had 6 rebounds, 3 assists. This is a guy who likes to, get aggressive. And this time he didn't go for the 3. It's funny because for a second there, I thought RJ was going to go for another or try to go for another game-winning 3. But this time, try to get more aggressive. Attack, didn't get it to go. And yeah, I mean, RJ Barrett, he definitely could have been better in this game. Just 6 of 15, 1 of 3 from 3, 0 of 2 from the free throw line. But the closer narrative, it's going to be something that we got to talk about more. Obviously, when the Raptors are back in business again, and these games do mean something in terms of like, they're at a point where they are competing and they are back in the playoff picture. But for now, it doesn't matter as much because that's going to lead me to my next point. Look, I know this team is way more talented than their record indicates, but the fact of the matter is these losses keep on piling up. And, the Raptors schedule, it's going to continue to be tough and challenging. And obviously pieces remain out. And guys, you look at the standings. I know it's early, but the Raptors right now are tied with the Utah Jazz. Well, actually, I forgot about the Sixers, which is crazy. I still can't believe the Sixers are 1-7, man. But anyways, I don't think the Bucks and the Sixers are going to stay at the bottom. So the Raptors and the Jazz basically are tied with only 2 wins. I guess if you want to count the 76ers, they are the worst team in the NBA by record at 1-7, but they're obviously, I don't think they're going to tank. But the point is, the Raptors, they're going to be there at the bottom. If these losses continue to pile up, they're going to be there at the bottom. And that's why, like, I'm not super fazed by all these losses because the Raptors are playing hard. They're showing you a lot of good things, but also they're contributing to bettering their draft lottery odds. And can you just imagine the Raptors adding a top 5 pick in a very loaded 2025 NBA draft, which is touted to be one of the best drafts in years, to this Raptors group? Man, this Raptors team, they could be back in business very soon. And then you would have to ask the question, who do you bench if you are going to add a generational talent and you do get lucky in the draft and add even a top 3 pick, a Bailey or a Cooper Flag? Obviously, that's best case scenario, but, that's a good problem to have. But the point is, if the Raptors, find themselves at the bottom, it's not necessarily a bad thing because this is a team that they do have, the makings of being something special. You do have guys like Abaji stepping up, looking to be a big rotation piece. The rookies have been impressive. Obviously Walter, he got hurt, which is unfortunate. You wanted to see more from him or him to get into rhythm. But, you have Grady, who looks very solid. You got IQ, RJ, Scotty, who's obviously out right now. So there's a lot of good puzzle pieces. And that's the thing. Like, if this was a year where the Raptors had playoff expectations, like, you're furious right now with this 2-8 record. But because it's not about the season, the Raptors are in year 1 of the rebuild. Like, this is very encouraging to see because the Raptors, they're showing you a lot of good things. And also, it's giving you a glimpse of, hey, this team might, in fact, be cooking if they can, add another key piece in the draft. And, that should be the play. I'm not going to say the Raptors are going to purposely tank, but this is not the worst thing in the world, guys. They're playing competitively. They're showing you a lot of fight. These games are fun to watch, and the Raptors aren't winning these games. So in theory, they are helping their long-term outcome. But obviously, it's going to be hard for the Raptors to stay at the bottom, especially when Barnes comes back. But for the time being, yeah, they are 2-8. They're 0-5 on the road, and we'll see how things look when Scotty comes back. We'll see if this team can get into a win streak and be competitive and kind of, flirt with that play-in and beyond. But right now, I'm pleased with what I'm seeing from this team. It's a lot of, close games. Yeah, they're not winning, but it's a lot of learning. You're going to build off this, and eventually, when this team's in a different situation, you're going to want to win these close games. But for now, you got to be okay with what you're seeing with the effort level from this team and just guys making big plays, the young guys playing well in certain situations. That is it for today's video, guys. Drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new. Follow me on X at Luke Rosano 3. And yeah, I will catch you guys again in the next one. Raptors take on the Lakers. That should be a good one. Until next time, stay safe.